Did you know there once was a chocolate bar that blended coconut, cherry, and caramel all in one exotic bite? It was called the Cabana. And if you remember it, you're not alone. In this video, I'll take you on a sweet trip down memory lane, where we'll rediscover some of the UK's most loved treats from the past, the kind that weren't just sweets, but real parts of growing up. From playground swaps to cinema kiosks, these chocolates and candies were woven into our everyday lives. Today, many of them are gone, but the memories they created are still alive. So sit back, relax, and let's unwrap the past together. Do you remember Bar 6? For some people, this chocolate bar was more than just a snack, it was a reward, a little luxury wrapped in red and orange foil. It looked similar to a Kit Kat, but once you snapped a finger and tasted it, you knew it was different. It was creamier, nuttier, smoother, and somehow felt more grown up. The hazelnut cream filling was subtle yet rich, sandwiched between crisp wafer layers, then covered in Cadbury's velvety milk chocolate. Imagine walking home from school, your nan stopping at the local corner shop, and she comes out with a Bar 6 just for you. That moment wasn't just about the taste, it was about feeling special. The way you'd unwrap it carefully, break a finger off, and savor it slowly. Sadly, by the early 1980s, Bar 6 started fading away. Some say Kit Kat overshadowed it, others say changing consumer habits killed it off. But ask anyone who tasted it, and they'll light up instantly, describing the nutty richness as if they just ate it yesterday. That's the magic of childhood sweets, they stay with you forever, even if they vanish from the shelves. Now let's talk about Spangles. These little boiled sweets carried a whole era in their tiny square wrappers. Introduced in the 1950s, Spangles became a symbol of post-war Britain. Life was slowly getting brighter again after years of rationing, and Spangles offered affordable joy. You could buy a packet with just a few coins, and it would last you an entire afternoon. The flavors were simple but comforting: orange, lime, blackcurrant, and of course the infamous Old English, which some kids loved and others hated because it tasted a bit like cough syrup. But that was the fun. Spangles always gave you surprises. Sitting on the school bus, hiding one during maths, or trading with your friends in the playground, it was never just about eating, it was about the moments. By the 1970s, Spangles had catchy adverts and slogans, but by the 80s, they disappeared quietly. Newer sweets came along with fancy wrappers and louder branding. Yet, Spangles remain one of the most requested comebacks in sweet history. They represent simpler days when happiness was square-shaped and wrapped in cellophane. Then there was the Aztec bar, Cadbury's ambitious attempt to rival the Mars bar. Launched in 1967, it was creamy, soft, and somehow more luxurious than its competitor. With nougat, caramel, and Cadbury's classic milk chocolate coating, the Aztec was indulgent, almost like a Friday night treat after a long week. People still remember the purple and silver wrapper that made it feel mysterious and premium. But despite its rich taste, it couldn't survive the battle against Mars, which dominated with stronger branding and bigger popularity. By the late 70s, the Aztec faded away, leaving behind loyal fans who still insist it was the better bar. And maybe they're right. For many, the Aztec was the thinking person's Mars bar, smoother and more refined. Its disappearance reminds us how even the best ideas can sometimes lose in the commercial world, but never in the hearts of those who loved them. Do you remember Pacers? If you were a kid in the 70s or 80s, you probably do. These minty green and white striped chewy sweets were the cool kid's choice. Originally known as Opal Mints, they were rebranded into Pacers with a sporty, energetic vibe. The adverts showed joggers and athletes, giving the impression that Pacers were the healthy, fresh alternative to other sweets. Of course, nobody really believed they made you fitter, but eating them felt grown up and stylish. They had a mild minty flavor, refreshing yet not overpowering, and the chewiness made them last longer than bubble gum. You might remember slipping one into your mouth after PE class, or during a long walk home, the minty coolness staying with you. But like many sweets of the era, Paces eventually disappeared by the mid-80s. New, flashier treats stole the spotlight, and Paces quietly left the scene. Still, those striped sweets are remembered fondly as a taste of clarity and style. And then came the Cabana bar. If you ever bit into one, you'll never forget it. Coconut, caramel, and a burst of cherry, all covered in milk chocolate. It was like a tropical holiday wrapped in foil. Launched in the 80s, Cabana wasn't just a sweet, it was an experience. The adverts leaned into exotic Caribbean themes, making it feel glamorous and exciting. For kids, buying a Cabana felt like an adventure, something you get at the cinema or on a family trip. But not everyone loved the cherry. It divided people, with some swearing it ruined the taste and others saying it was the best part. That boldness was probably its downfall. By the early 90s, Cabana disappeared. But those who tasted it still remember the unique blend and the feeling of sunshine in every bite. Before M&M's conquered the UK, there were Treets. Launched in the 60s by Mars, they came in peanut, toffee, and chocolate varieties. The peanut treats were especially popular, whole peanuts wrapped in chocolate and coated in a crisp sugar shell. Their famous slogan, "They melt in your mouth, not in your hand," stuck in everyone's head. Treats were the cinema snack, the bus ride treat, the school trip essential. Opening a yellow bag of treats was like opening a bag of happiness. But in the 80s, M&M's arrived with bold, colorful branding and instantly took over. Treats quietly vanished, and though there have been occasional revivals, they never truly returned to their original charm. For many Brits, Treats weren't just chocolate, they were tradition, and when they disappeared, something local and familiar was lost. Now, let's sing together, "It's amazing what raisins can do." Yes, the Amazin Raisin bar. Launched in the 70s by Cadbury, this chewy, fruity chocolate bar was unlike anything else. It combined raisins, caramel, chocolate, and fruit flavors, sometimes with a hint of rum or orange. Sticky, sweet, gooey, and fun, it was messy but unforgettable. Parents liked it because it had fruit, kids loved it because it was playful. Its marketing was colorful, quirky, and very 70s. But as time went on, it became too unconventional for newer generations. Too chewy, too different, maybe too odd. Eventually, it vanished. But for those who grew up with it, the Amazin Raisin represents a time when sweets weren't afraid to be bold, strange, and fun. Finally, do you remember Polo gummies? Yes, the mint with the hole once had a gummy version. In the 80s and early 90s, Nestlé tried to expand Polo beyond the classic mint. They released fruity, colorful gummy rings, chewy, playful, and fun. Kids loved them for being rebellious, a Polo you could chew instead of suck. But that was also the problem. They weren't the real Polo. Fans of the original found them strange and mismatched, and before long, they were gone. Today, most people don't even remember they existed, but for a few, they remain a quirky memory of childhood. Polo gummies remind us that even the biggest brands took risks, and though not every idea lasted, the memories certainly did. So that's our sweet journey down memory lane. From Bar 6 to Spangles, Aztec to Paces, Cabana to Treets, the Amazin Raisin, and even the forgotten Polo gummies, each of these sweets was more than just sugar. They were moments, emotions, and experiences. They remind us of playgrounds, family trips, school days, and a simpler time when happiness could be bought for a few pennies. They may be gone, but the nostalgia they carry is priceless. If any of these brought back memories for you, don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more sweet stories every week. After all, some treats may disappear, but the memories, they stay forever.